Hello and welcome to Bossing with Tweva. Today we'll be working on Noxious Demon on the BlissScape server. I've been asked a lot about this boss and how to kill it, and so I decided to make a video to hopefully answer all the questions people have. Alright, so first things first, we're going to want to grab the quest. If you run north of home into the Wildy line, you'll run into this NPC. Whenever you run into him, just go through his dialogue and he should ask you to get 3 demonic artifacts. We're going to go ahead and run around, find these demonic artifacts, and you need to get geared up in gear that you're willing to lose. We will be going into Wildy for every single one of these artifacts, and I will show you the safest way to get away from PKers, but I can't always promise you'll survive. Alright, so for the first artifact, we're going to want to go to KBD. You can find this in either the other boss's teleports, or you can type in : KBD. Whenever you teleport, go ahead and take note of the lever on the wall, and we'll be heading up the ladder. Whenever you head up the ladder, you'll go ahead and kill all the demons that you see around there until they drop you the artifact. And if you do see a PKer, or if you do get the artifact and need to get back home, go ahead and go back down the ladder and hit that lever. That will be your safe spot to be able to teleport from PKers as quickly as possible. The second artifact can be found west of Noxious Dragon. The best way to get there is either by typing : Nox Drag, or using the other boss's teleport to teleport to the Noxious Dragon. From the teleport, you're going to want to go ahead and run west for a ways. You'll run into some ruins with some demons wandering around. Once you get there, you're going to want to go ahead and kill them until you get your artifact. Your safety net is going to be running northwest from these ruins and going through a gate. There will be an obelisk on the other side of the wall. Whenever you click on the obelisk, you can stand in the center and it will teleport you randomly to another obelisk in the Wildy. Once it teleports you below 20 wilderness or at 20 wilderness, you can go ahead and teleport home. So for the final artifact, we're going to want to go to our skilling tab, and we're going to want to go ahead and click on the Slayer skill. We're going to want to teleport to the Slayer Master Vanaka, don't quote me, I have no clue how to pronounce his name. But we're going to want to teleport to this man and go ahead and run through these gates. If you follow my path closely, you'll be able to get to the black demons that we need to kill to get this last artifact. Keep in mind we are in wilderness, but we are in low wilderness, so you should be able to teleport at any time if somebody tries to PK you. Now that we have all the artifacts, we should go ahead and talk to the quest giver again. He should give us the option to go and help him fight a demon at the end of the lava maze. So before we get into the boss, I'd like to go ahead and recommend a few gear setups and an inventory setup. You can tweak it however you'd like. If you can mismatch, you can wear a Pernix helmet instead of the Slayer helmet that I have on the top tier gear. You can wear a Slayer helmet on any of the gears if you're on task for this. But here's a good recommendation, a good startup. If you don't have Titans, if you don't have Dreadnips, if you don't have the Chinchampas, they're all nice to have, but they are definitely not needed. So you can replace that with more food if you do not have them. Another thing we should do before we get into the boss is go ahead and look at some of its mechanics. There's a couple of mechanics we need to figure out before we go in, and the first one will be the exploding altar. Whenever you go to start the boss, you click on an altar and accept that you want to fight him. Shortly after, he emerges and explodes. It does a small amount of damage, so just make sure you're healed up before you click on it. The next mechanic is whenever the demon flies into the air, your friend will spawn a protective bubble around him, and the demon will spawn some fiery orbs underneath him. They'll be emitted outwards from the demon, and you want to make sure that you're standing inside the protection bubble whenever they come past you. If you can't get to the protection bubble in time, or for whatever reason your friend may die, you can run through them. Make sure to run through them though, because you'll take less damage and there's a potential to take no damage if you do it on the right tick. But if you run with the flames, you're definitely gonna die. You'll take way too much fire damage, so just be confident. If you're not gonna make it to the bubble, run through the fire. The next mechanic we're going to work on is the spiders mechanic. There are 2 thresholds of health that the Noxious Demon will spawn spiders at. The first one will be at about 1/4 of his health, he'll spawn the mirrorback spiders. These spiders reflect all damage you deal to the boss back to you, so during this time you want to take care of them and also not hit the boss, or else you will potentially kill yourself. At around a third of the demon's health, he'll also spawn Noxious spiders. These spiders will heal the boss for 250 for each one that's alive, so the quicker you can take them out, the shorter the kill will be. It's a good thing to keep in mind that every time he spawns these spiders or you push him into these health thresholds, he'll gain a new ability. The first ability he gains is the Taste Miasma ability. This is by far one of the most dangerous abilities throughout the whole kill. It's very simple to dodge, but can do a ton of damage. It does initial poison damage whenever it lands, and also does ticking poison damage afterwards. Whenever you see the ability going off, as long as you move away, it won't hit you, and as long as you don't run back into the particles that it leaves left over, then you should be perfectly fine. Here's an example of how much damage it can do. The second ability the demon gains is whenever he spawns the Noxious spiders. This ability is he'll pull you into melee range, hit you 3 times, and then let you go. During this time, you cannot move, but you can attack and eat, so just make sure you keep your health up and attack him when you have time. His final ability is his last-ditch effort to kill you. He starts hurling multiple miasma balls at you, and all you have to do is continuously run. As long as you run, you won't be hit by these. If you'd like, you can try weaving in auto attacks, as you can see me doing in this clip, but it is not necessary. As long as you continuously run, eventually he'll stop throwing them at you, and the kill will go back to as it always was. Same abilities, same everything, and he won't hurl multiple miasma balls at you anymore. Awesome, so now that we've been through all the mechanics, let's go ahead and work on getting to the boss. The boss is located in high wilderness, but once you get into the cave, it's not considered wilderness anymore, so be careful with what you bring because you can lose it. What we'll want to do is go ahead and go to the point of interest teleports and go to the lava maze. It's a small maze, it's hardly called a maze in my opinion, but if you follow my route closely, then you should be able to get to the demon cave with no issues. Alright, I'd like to take this time to remind you of one last mechanic that I forgot to bring up earlier, and it's the fact that you can right click on the demon and taunt him. Whenever you're killing the demon for the first time during the quest, you do want to make sure that your friend stays alive through the kill. After you've finished the quest, and for every kill after the quest, it doesn't matter if he survives or not, but for this kill specifically, you do want to taunt the demon and make sure he's attacking you at all times to keep your friend alive. I'm going to go ahead and showcase 2 kills now, one with the top tier gear and one with the lowest recommended gear that I offered. Both of these are with Slayer helmets on because I am on task, so keep that in mind, but you can hope to get average kill times of about the same ones I do. Well, thank you if you made it this far. Hopefully you got your kill and the guide helped you out a little bit. Quick shout out, I am a part owner of a clan in the server. It's called the Guild. If you'd like to join, feel free to PM me. We take all new members and any member at that. If this guide did help you, it'd be awesome if you'd leave a like, a subscribe, and maybe hit that bell notification if you ever need help with any other bosses, because I will be releasing some more here soon. Thank you and have a good one, guys.